The Big WECK presents Buffalo on the Rise, sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process. Welcome to the television show devoted to local business, Buffalo on the Rise, with your host, Joe Chili. There's an entrepreneurial spirit in Western New York that's putting our area on the cusp of greatness. Each week, Buffalo on the Rise features local business leaders and decision makers who are shaping our future. If it's about local business, we'll talk about it right here, right now, during Buffalo on the Rise.
I'm Joe Chili. On this edition of the Big WECK's Buffalo on the Rise, I'll introduce you to some interesting people from hometown businesses with interesting stories to tell. Like Keith Mann, he transformed a space at Eastern Hills Mall into a holiday wonderland with trees, lights, and ornaments for you. Meet Mr. Christmas. Denise Ligamarre is back from Western Division Federal Credit Union with the gift of green for your bank account. And Dr. Miliotto says, don't spend the holidays in pain. He has some alternative treatments that offer the gift of good health. All on this edition of the Big WECK's Buffalo on the Rise. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Joe Chili. Weekday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. on the Big WECK. On the Big WECK's Buffalo on the Rise today, we welcome Keith Mann from Mr. Christmas. How you doing?
I'm great.
Good. You and your wife run this, right?
Yes.
I want to make sure I mention her too. Lisa?
Lisa.
That's good, because I don't want to get in trouble. You know, just talking about you and not talking about the person.
She's my better half.
Yeah, there you go. That's very good. How long has Mr. Christmas been in business?
6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And have you always been in the same location?
Well, yeah, until we've set up recently in the Dave & Buster's when the mall closed.
Mm-hmm. What about the items that you have in there? I mean, I'm sure that it's everything Christmas, but you know, what kind of size, what kind of variety? Everything under the sun?
Yeah, and we actually specialize in new and vintage stuff. So it's a lot of blurring the lines between, you know, the new plastic Christmas trees and the old plastic blow molds. You know, people love that stuff. It brings back a lot of their childhood memories and emotions.
You know, it's funny because, you know, you talk about pre-lit trees and things like this now. When I was growing up, probably when you were growing up, you know, we had real trees, okay, to begin with. The other thing was we had those big lights, you know, and I kind of miss those.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit. I understand, you know, that they used to get warm. We used to, you know, turn off the tree, don't leave the tree on. Make sure the tree's watered, you know, and all this kind of stuff,
Exactly.
right? But, so can you do something other than just like small twinkle lights now? Do they make something, you know, similar to those?
Well, yeah, you can still find those C9s, those big bulbs. They're still out there. It's just they take a lot of energy to run.
Well, that's the other thing you have to worry about after Christmas, the bills, right?
Yeah.
How do you blend nostalgia with technology?
Well, it works well with each other because all the twinkling lights seem to be universal with the new and they used.
You know, some of the things, or many of the things that you have in there have a distinctive look and feeling. Now, do you have them divided into different areas of the store? Do you have like nostalgia, newer things? Do you have them mixed together? How do you work that out?
We do separate. There's areas of the vintage stuff and there's areas of the new stuff. Like most of the new Christmas trees are all set up together. And we do have vintage ones that we set up in the back that maybe, you know, some of the lights don't work or they're older. They're budget trees. We actually take in trees on trade. Like if somebody buys a new tree, we'll tell them to bring their old one in. We'll give them credit towards their new one, and we'll clean them up or strip the wires off them or ultimately fix them and sell them as pre-loved trees.
What about things like tinsel, garland? People still do those things?
Oh yeah.
Really?
And we actually still have a big supply of the old aluminum tinsel. People love that stuff.
And what about the aluminum trees? I still remember, you know, it was the stationary tree, right? And there was a light at the bottom that you scroll out, color wheel?
Yeah.
They still do that?
We have 3 of them set up in the store.
Really?
They're beautiful. Oh yeah. Real aluminum trees.
I don't know if that gives a traditional feel to me at all. It gives a nostalgic feel because I remember it as I was growing up.
Right.
But you know, I don't think if I said to my kids or to my grandkids, if I said, remember those, those trees that were kind of like all aluminum, whatever the case, what are you talking about? And they wouldn't know what it is. And like,
but their grandmother had one, and they like, oh, they want to have it to relive those memories.
What about small ceramic trees?
Have those too.
Is that something, will people do a small tree like that for their home rather than kind of dress the whole thing up?
Well, I think those people actually add those kind of accessory to their kitchen island or a little table in their dining room, or it's just an accent. But that doesn't replace the full tree. Mm-hmm. But people like to decorate all over the house with similar things like that.
What about gingerbread men, gingerbread cottages, all those little things?
Yeah, and the ceramic village pieces are probably one of our best sellers. People love that. They have their own village set up, and they're always adding to it.
Is Santa there?
I'm sorry?
Is Santa at your store?
He visits quite often. We have
Really?
a great Santa. He'll be there tomorrow for the video.
Well, I think, Mr. Christmas, then obviously Santa's got to be there. We understand that. Give us your location too, please.
We're 4545 Transit Road. It's the Eastern Hills Mall. It's in the former Dave & Buster's location on the front of the mall.
Are there specific holiday memories, do you think, that inspire product designs?
Well, there's a lot of knockoffs, like those ceramic Christmas trees. They were all made by individual moms and grandmothers doing that in ceramic class. And now that they're limited because they break, they're rare. So there's companies that actually reproduce those with plastic or different ways, just to fill that need.
All right, I'm going to take you back. A nostalgia thing now. I don't know if you sell this. The spray snow that you used to spray on the windows to make.
I have it. Oh yeah.
Come on.
I have it. It's in stock.
Really? Yeah. I can still remember my mom doing that.
And people get really artistic with that. They can make village scenes, and it's great.
What about those? They're Christmas. They're like Christmas lights, but they have like water and a bubble in them.
Oh, the bubble lights.
Is that what they're actually called?
Yeah, bubble lights. I can't keep them in stock. I cannot keep them in stock. And really, it's just all the old varieties of those. They come and go. But they don't make them anymore. You have to depend on the stock that's still available.
Christmas is what your parents made it. If your parents made it a great Christmas, you're loving that and you're remembering that right now. So we want to invite people out to see you at Mr. Christmas, and thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming in, Keith.
Yeah, my pleasure.
For more information and answers to your questions, contact Mr. Christmas by stopping by or go to MrChristmasUSA.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Mr. Christmas. And don't forget to join all your favorite personalities, JP, Roger Christian, Glenn Topolsky, and me with classic oldies from the 60s and 70s on the Big WECK. I'm Joe Chilling, weekday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big WECK. And with us today on the Big WECK's Buffalo on the Rise is Denise Ligamarre from Western Division Federal Credit Union.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's good.
Huh?
We're in the holiday season.
Yes,
I'm surprised you're not wearing red or...
I thought about that today.
Really?
I don't know what happened.
Well, that's all right.
I'll try better next time.
You always look very... Yeah, January?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You always look great. Tell us, I understand that you guys are best of the best winner. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's an exciting time because we've always done the Best of 716 competition that always goes on, and we've always either won or raised in the top of that. And this year we tried something a little bit new in our branch in Chautauqua. They have a thing down there called Best of the Best of Chautauqua, and for the first time ever we won that down there. So it's fantastic. Home of the great rate, home of the great service. Now the community and everybody who's not even members of ours are voting and saying that we are one of the best. So it's fantastic.
What always made me nervous about that is you've got no place to go but down.
No, we're not going down.
I'm just kidding. That's not the case. In November, you had $1 million patronage dividend.
Right.
You gave that to members. What is the patronage dividend? How do I get involved in this?
See, this is one of those things that's making us the best of the best,
Okay.
because the thing that Western Division does different than any other financial institution in Western New York is we actually pay a dividend to everybody that uses us every year. So when the credit union does well, being a cooperative, what we do is we actually do a certain calculation and we actually pay them back money for saving and borrowing with us. So this year, the way we decided, basically every year, this year we were able to pay $1 million out to our membership. The way we do it is we take a look at the economic conditions in the area and what has happened throughout the year. And so just to give you an example, like the CD people, you saw a lot of great CD rates out there this year. So a lot of people on a daily basis or throughout the year made really great return on the CD rates, where the lenders, the people going out getting your home equities, your vehicles, things like that, they were paying a much higher interest rate to borrow money. So when our board of directors takes a look at the calculation for the year, they try and kind of equal it out. So the CD people made like 2.5% of that $1 million. The lending people made 15% of those lending dollars, and your regular savings and money markets made 5%. So that way, all of our membership equally, if you're not making out on a day-to-day or monthly basis
They all
throughout
get
the
to
year,
share in the...
everybody gets to share in the patronage dinner at the end and kind of equal everybody out. So that home of the great rate, you can get the home of the great rate. You can get it daily, weekly, monthly, throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, we pay out that extra bonus, which is really exciting. And we are the only one that does it.
See, you just took up all the rest of my questions.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. That's a really great thing to do. All right, it's the holiday season. Christmas is coming up. What kind of sales do you have for the holiday season?
Okay, so the holidays, we actually start October 1st doing holidays things because everybody's shopping a little bit earlier. So October through December 31st, we have 2 major holiday promotions going on. We have your holiday loan. So if you haven't saved throughout the year and you haven't decided to, or if you don't want to use your credit cards, anywhere from $500 to $3,000 on a 1-year repayment term of 6.99%, you get the money the same day to go start your shopping. And so 6.99 is a lot better than 24.99 on the credit cards and
That could be
retail
dangerous.
cards out
That could
there.
be dangerous for me.
Yeah.
You know, you get that kind of money right away, but
Well, you pay it off within a year, so then you come and get a holiday loan the next year. And then you start shopping again for the next year.
that's pretty good. You have an answer for everything,
I do.
don't you? That's very good. Western Division is known for its involvement in the community. What kind of things have you done? Local initiatives or partnerships?
When around the time of Thanksgiving, November, we also like to go out to a lot of the groups that we support in the area through community involvement, but also through donations. So at that time, we take a look at different organizations like Feed More Western New York, whether it be Buffalo Mission. Our staff actually and our board pick different ones every single year so we can kind of spread the funds and the wealth and the volunteering throughout the area. So this year we've paid about $60,000 to 6 different organizations to help make an impact and help them with what's going on in the economy and kind of help them like get through it if they need a little bit of help.
What kind of trends, Denise, do you see maybe now that weren't apparent or you didn't see 5-10 years ago?
We see a lot of people obviously always looking for the best rate to earn more on your savings, less on your loans. I think a big thing is just within the past year and actually even going forward is going to be that prime rate. When the government changes that prime rate, it starts driving everything as far as saving and borrowing, not only for financial institutions, but also comes down to the individual level. And as well as the economy, what's been going on, people trying to make the most of their dollars. So you're really looking for the way to bundle all of your stuff. Remember back in the day, there'd be that PFI, the primary financial institution, where you had all your savings, your lending, your checking. And within, especially since before COVID, that kind of went away. Everybody's just shopping all over the place, whether it be online or a brick and mortar financial institution to get the best rate. Now we see that going back to that bundling again. Once you have more products, services, or balances with a financial institution, there's more benefits, lesser fees, and things like that. So I would say everybody in January, when you're taking a look at all your finances, take a look at what's the best rate out there, but then go in and take a look at a financial institution to see if they have bundling and extra interest rates to make your money go further for you.
Boy, January used to be, you know, the great equalizer. You know, you look at it and you say, hey, Christmas was great. Was it this great? Right?
Well, we have something for that too, because once you get done Christmas shopping, our next promo that starts January, February, March is what we call Ditch the Debt. So all that debt that you accumulated over Christmas, we have the credit card consolidation. So you can come in and there's no transfer fees, and you can come in and you can consolidate that debt down to 6.99, and that's good until you pay off the entire balance.
See, this is one really smart lady. You're already married, right?
Yeah.
Darn. All right, Denise, thank you very much. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Western Division Federal Credit Union at 716-500-LOAN or go to westerndivision.org. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Western Division Federal Credit Union. And don't forget to join all your favorite personalities, JP, Roger Christian, Glenn Topolsky, and me, with the classic oldies from the 60s and 70s on the Big WECK. Hi, I'm Joe Chili, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on the Big WECK. Today on Buffalo on the Rise, I'm pleased to have with us Dr. Christian Miliotto of WNY Pain Relief. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Good. I know you're always going to be good. You know, I've never heard you say, oh, I'm terrible, you know, whatever the case may be. We should ask you sometime who you have to go to in the event you have to be adjusted.
My partner.
Can you adjust yourself?
No.
Okay. Well, guess you know that, folks. It's that time of the year. You know what I mean? I still remember last winter about this time, I just was walking on ice and I partially tore my meniscus, and I didn't think that I walked any differently than I normally walk. It was just a sudden type thing. But things like that can be taken care of. I mean, I understand they can't heal that, but can you work with something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different conditions that we can help in the clinic. You know, the biggest issue with people that have these chronic nerve and joint issues, whether it's back, knee pain, hips, they're all interconnected, and many times people aren't receiving the proper care that they need. You know, with my clinic, we use a lot of research and evidence-based treatment, and one of the things I follow are guidelines from the World Health Organization. And I did an article and an interview with a couple people, or excuse me, my patrons that come to my seminar, and I went over a study with the World Health Organization that more than 80% of people that have nerve and joint pain do not get the proper care to resolve their symptoms and continue to have further problems down the road. And this is the biggest reason why people end up getting surgery, have chronic issues, or the condition morphs into affecting the neck, the arms, the hands, the back, legs, and feet. And the treatments that we use are the most advanced treatments you can use in the medical realm to treat these things non-surgically, non-medically, and without injections, but they actually promote long-lasting healing.
Well, you know, I've always thought, and maybe, you know, it's just me, but I always thought, you know, when you go to the doctor, you're wondering whether, you know, it's something that you really need to take, or it's something that they're getting pushed like to by companies, you know, whether pharmaceutical companies, to kind of get this out on the market. You know what I'm saying? And I personally listen to every single side effect that comes with something, and they scare the living daylights out of you. I mean, really. So how do you deal? I mean, do people come in with chronic pain and expect chronic pain to be healed?
Yeah. I mean, well, when people come into us, there's three things. Number one, a lot of people don't know what to expect. When you walk into my clinic, the technologies and treatments that we are trained in and certified in to use are things that nobody has ever seen before. So anybody that's thinking, you know, I've tried it all, I've heard this story before. No, you haven't. And, you know, the big thing about me is I'm so down to earth and honest with people. Come to my clinic, walk in and meet the staff, come to my seminar, take advantage and advocate for yourself to treat these conditions. If you've had long-lasting back pain and it involves a disc and a nerve, there's a reason why it's not getting better. And that's because you can only treat a disc and nerve issue through back surgery or non-surgical decompression. If you're dealing with arthritis and inflammation, laser therapy, specifically class 4 laser therapy, is one of the most advanced treatments to control that inflammation and accelerate the healing process of a tissue. If you're dealing with nerve and joint issues like numbness, burning, or tingling, we have treatments that can treat it. And many people are told by their doctors, you can't treat numbness, you have to take gabapentin, we need to do this epidural, maybe we need to consider surgery. No, those things are last options. And when people come into our clinic, we treat all ages, all demographics, severe conditions, acute conditions. I've had patients that have had pain for 30 years and walked out of my clinic feeling like two completely different people. And that's the advantage that you can have, is it's right at your doorstep in this city of Buffalo, and we are providing the most advanced care you could possibly get. And I spend over an hour to an hour and a half in a consultation. How many people listening sit down with their doctor for that long? That's how detailed I am and how much I want to make sure you get what you deserve out of treatment.
You know, when I think of medicine, I think of something that is fluid, that's changing. I mean, you're studying things all the time. I mean, you've talked about seminars that you go to.
Yeah.
Do you ever have an instance where somebody comes in and you recommend they do something, and then you get information that something different may work better, and then you go back to the patient and say, look, we're going to try something else?
Yeah, I mean, our therapies are all fluid and they are customized to the individual. When it comes to mainstream treatment for nerve and joint problems, it's really kind of not. If you think about it, you go to your primary, you get referred for physical therapy, chiropractic, or acupuncture. Then you go to a pain specialist and you get injections or pain medications. And then they talk about epidurals or surgery. Okay, that is the system. That is what happens. And many of us get caught in that system. And, you know, a lot of the patients, and you know, you'll learn it at the seminar. If you go to my webpage, you can see patient testimonials or read our Google reviews online. You will see these people have had all sorts of different conditions, multiple chronic issues for multiple years, and we help to resolve these things and create a level of healing that the patient can maintain. And then we most importantly educate the patient on why these things haven't worked in the past and why what we're doing now is so effective.
And what about your seminars?
Seminars offered every third Wednesday of the month. It's at 1 p.m. We do generally book up very quick, so we have a couple seats for the next upcoming seminar in a week or so. The biggest thing is if you want to come to the seminar, take advantage of that if you're nervous about coming in for a consultation. The one thing I want to tell you too is I offer free assessments. I will sit down with you regardless of your situation and give you the time that you need, go over your MRIs, your imaging, your clinical case history, and then develop a program for you if I think I'm a good fit for you. And that's the biggest thing you can get out of me is honesty, understanding your body, and if you've been questioning why you're in pain or don't understand your MRIs or your imaging or what doctors have been telling you, come in and sit down and we'll put the pieces together.
All right, Dr. Christian Miliotto, thank you. For more information and answers to your questions, contact WNY Pain Relief by calling 716-650-PAIN or go to buffalopainrelief.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by WNY Pain Relief, and don't forget to join me and all of your favorite personalities, JP, Roger Christian, with all the classic oldies from the 60s and 70s on the Big WECK.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Big WECK Presents Buffalo on the Rise. For information on this and other shows, go to our website, bigweck.com, and find out how you can participate on the program if you're a hometown business. I'm Joe Chili. Thanks for watching and listening to the Big WECK, Buffalo's oldie station.
The Big WECK Presents Buffalo on the Rise was sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process.